If Nigerians allow for this criminality, this assault, this graping of our democracy to stand, then there is no reason, no value being a Nigerian, having conversations around Nigeria growing. Because that we are still smiling, that we are laughing, that the National Assembly has not been occupied this morning, that our senators are not making videos calling themselves out of this purported arrangement, that people that we sent to National Assembly are not openly discrediting it and saying they are not part of this, is an assault, is an insult, is an abuse, is a coup d'etat. It's a coup d'etat because we do not understand what has been done. We don't understand. And if you need education, go and get that elsewhere. But at this moment, I am sick and tired. This may just be the final straw that breaks the camel's back. This may just be it. I can no longer continue to have conversation about a country where the country's politicians insist that they must continue to rig election. So all of the popularity that they have said they have, all of the development they have brought, all of the GDP growth rate, it is to rig election. I thought you said it is still back to 2031. I thought you said all of you are not popular. That you have 31 state governors. You have 31 states. And you have a master plan. Jagaboy has not lost election. All of this is going to collapse to rigging election. You are going to refuse Nigerians to vote and ensure that their votes count. In 2022, the Electoral Act, INEC put it in their guidelines that it was supposed to be, they are supposed to have an electronic transmission of results from BVAS to the IRF. Election came and INEC went to do manual collation. Nigerians demanded that the elections be reviewed. Nobody said anything, went to court. The Supreme Court particularly stated that INEC reserves the right, that whatever has been written in the guideline, INEC still reserves the right of how they decide to collect and transmit results. Nigeria said, okay, if that is the loophole, the technicalities, we are going to go back to fixing it. And so various persons, Peter for Nigeria, people started speaking about electoral reforms. The National Assembly came up with all forms of arrangements, zonal hearing, public hearings, and all of that. Made committees, civil societies, people put tests together. And we agreed, Nigerians in the National Assembly agreed that there should be real-time transmission of results, as it were, the mandatory. This time, we are looking at the Electoral Act and the relevant section of the Constitution to insist that being in the INEC guidelines was not enough. We want to make it a law that this should be it. While the House of Rep has agreed it, they said the Senate continually to delay their own process. Akpabio collecting instructions of Bola Ahmed Tinubu that knows that he cannot win an election if the election is not rigged. Now, the Senate, after delaying all of this process, has come out now to tell us that they are going to go back to 2022 Electoral Act Master Plan. So why did you get here? Why did you do all of the charade? What was the calisthenics and shenanigans for? Where did you go into all of this drama? Why do you spend all of this taxpayers' money wasting people's time? Why? If we're going to go back, Akpabio, this one will not. This one will eat you up. This one will eat you up. This one, you will regret this. Whatever you have done, it is Tinubu that have sent you, and those of them that says that they are the ones, the miracles of Obiakpa and all of the things that happens in various parts of this country that has not happened before. But you are the protagonist. You are the person that are putting forth to say what you want to say. You will hear it. If Nigerians still laugh, if we are still going to be watching skits this morning, except we have agreed that the country is done. Because if there is no mandatory and written transmission of results in 2027, there should be no election. And if there's no election, there should be no country. That we are still laughing this morning is mystery to me. That we are not occupying relevant places in Nigeria. We are not demanding that nonsense, that fly, that bird that fly from the useless Akpabio man. Shame on you, Gosul Akpabio. Shame on you, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. All of you are disasters. You are disgrace and embarrassment. At this point, after claiming to have been master of all, after claiming to be master strategist, after having a time to have been president for 4 years, you need to read to return to office. You need to read. You have 31. You don't have 31 state governors. You don't have 31 states. You have 31 human beings who only have 31 votes because you know they don't have any credibility. You know that they cannot, for any reason, push any agenda that would work. Shame on all of you. Shame on all of you. We can no longer stand this. And Nigerians are looking. Except we have agreed that the country is doomed already. Except we have agreed that we have given up on the country. And let us, all of us, agree together that we are, so all of us will stop. Because I cannot understand how this works. The only hope we had that we'll have a chance to go into the election with a will and an effort. It's not that having to have it mandatory or electronic will mean that it is Eldorado, elections will come free and fair. But that is the first layer. That is the first place to start from. And now somebody is going to tell me that it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that what? Why is Tinubu scared of having a free, fair, and credible election? Why is Akpabio? Who is Akpabio listening to? Akpabio, this one will purge you. This one will purge you. Unfortunately, we have a Nigerian state where the youth are docile, where the youth are carried away, where the youth have misplaced priorities, where the conversation is not about how to move this country forward. And then you have bought everybody and created various network of Jagaban, City Boys, Renewed Hope, yet you still want to rig election. Shame on all of you. All of you, the National Assembly. Listen, if you don't begin to take a stand now, either for Nigeria or for Tinubu, we shall mark all of you too. This is too much to bear. I cannot believe that in 2026, you will waste all of our time to come back to this nonsense. To be smart by half and tell us that we will go back. Pablo, you are mad. I will bet you are. Oh God, Jesus.
Seriously, the Senate has done the right thing by rejecting compulsory transmission. Yes, which gives INEC other option to move results where they cannot transmit electronically. And that means electronic transmission has been left as an option and not made compulsory or rejected as widely reported. But before I moved on, let's watch this video.
Because these young people, this is the language they understand. Yeah. It's not just about Twitter and the rest. If you can think of those things, then let us know, and we will imbibe it and we will win this election for the grace of God.
That was what they intend doing. You can see Peter B there laughing. Then he'll be telling us it's clean. Though they actually did it in Southeast though. And that is why Peter B was able to pull out about 92% of votes in Southeast in 2023 election. No any other candidate get up to 5% of vote there. We all know they rigged the election for him in Southeast in last presidential election. But I can assure you it can never happen again. All the votes in South will be shared this time around. And that's if Peter B is on ballot paper. In 2023, Peter B went to abroad and he was planning with his Senegalese on how to hack the INEC server and manipulate the election results. But INEC was 20 steps ahead of him. Yes, in that video, the guy said, as you go on your journey, think of technology. This is what the youths understand. Think of this. Think of these things and imbibe with it. Tell us and we will rig this election for you. That is one of the reasons why electronic transmission is not visible in Nigeria for now. People who are waiting for it to be introduced are the same people who have ACA on their payrolls. Yes. Meanwhile, name 3 developed countries that transmit election results electronically from polling unit to collation center. Just tell me. So it is not compulsory.
Besides that, in the Senate, and I don't want us to go to this verbosity and the issue of this lexicographical acrobat of transmit. When you look at transmit means to send. When you look at transfer means to take from one place to the other, which is the same thing as to send. That is one. So meaning that both, there's no conjunctions that are negative and that critical to each other in the 2 minutes. And yes, we heard and we have heard variously and together at the Senate that yes, we are not going to reject the electronic collation. I will still come back to that transfer and the transmittal of election results. And we said that the only problem when you are making law, you have to look at the ecosystem. For example, I just want to take just an example. Between Abuja and Lokoja, when you get to a point after Abaji, the network will not be okay anymore until you get very close to Kotokafe. Some people are talking about, oh, real time. I said, real time is now. Now, does it mean that if there is election in the village around that place because we have polling units there. And then the results were not uploaded now. Because when you are uploading, it means that portal must open immediately. And then if network is not there, the portal will not open.
Welcome back to the channel. So what in God's name is really happening? Why will the Senate reject the real-time electronic transmission of election results for goodness sake? Because this is something that is actually supposed to show us the transparency of the forthcoming election. And does it mean that they are just scared of transparency? Because in a country where elections are often filled with doubts, and this corruption thing is just too much, I see no reason why you don't want to be transparent. The youths and a lot of people are really angry about this, and they believe that the Senate does not want elections to be free and fair in 2027. Now, real-time electronic transmission, it will actually reduce rigging, all this delay and result manipulation that we all know. It will actually make it hard for these powerful people or these politicians to be able to change figures in their secret places. So when the Senate rejects it, what are they really telling Nigerians? That they prefer the old methods which allow fraud to thrive? Is that what they are trying to tell us? So I want to ask, what are they really hiding? Because if the system is clean, and we all know that it's clean, why will you fear technology? Because a lot of other countries now, they use this electronic transmission to actually improve trust in the elections, to make it just free and fair. And we should be thinking of such. So when the Senate tries to reject this, what are they doing? What are they trying to tell us? Now they're talking about security risk and poor network, blah blah blah. But for me, it's just the excuses sounds weak. Because we have banks, mobile apps, online payments that is working daily. And if money can move electronically, why can't votes do the same? So instead of blocking progress, I think the Senate should be fixing the problems and fixing the system. This decision only confirms that these people, they just believe that the political class wants to stay in power by all means. And we are tired, to be honest. Nigeria deserves better, and we want a system that our votes can count and be protected. So if the Senate really represents the people, which we all know they don't, at least let them even listen to the people. Why are you rejecting something that will make votes transparent? Why are you doing that? Well, for me, this is not a good thing, and I just feel it's because they are corrupt. As we've heard, the videos I played earlier, you can also hear from what people are saying. Well, what do you think about this? Kindly let me know what you think in the comment section. And if today is the first time joining my channel, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe.